Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christine McKellar, your host, and looky what we've got. We've been talking with Brenda Gonzalez of the wonderful Sahara Wellness Medical Marijuana Dispensary on 420 East Sahara. And we thought we'd have Jeffrey Axelrod, Jeffy, on the show because his marijuana legacy goes way back. Does this look familiar to any of you viewers who are like over 30? You know, I used to have a lot of tie-dye T-shirts and stuff. So you, sir, are the godfather of tie-dye T-shirts, are you not?
Thank you. Yes.
Well, how'd you get that reputation? You want to tell us a little bit about the 70s and how that came about? You were also one of the original marijuana proponents back in the day, even though we weren't aware how medicinal it was. You've got to have a reason and a story behind that. But tell us a little bit about how you got into this unique, at the time, silk screen tie-dye T-shirts.
I was living on the East Coast, and friends told me I belonged on the West Coast.
You had long hair.
I had longish hair.
Longish hair.
And I had friends that were at the time called flight attendant, stewardesses. So they snuck me on a plane, and I landed in San Francisco.
Didn't you hide out in the bathroom or something? Or
Yes,
stow away
yes,
in the
and I
bathroom?
almost got caught.
This was in the mid-70s?
1969, actually.
Woo!
Just
Wow.
at
That was
the
even
end.
BC before Christine, kind of. Okay, carry on.
So I needed to find a business to get into. I met a friend who had a friend that they met in Vietnam, Barry Anderson, and John Bolker introduced us. And Barry said he knew silk screening, and I said, well, I'm ready. We need to do something. So we built every single thing. We could only buy ink. John Bolker was a master builder, and Barry,
So the frames and everything?
everything.
Was this in Berkeley now?
No,
or-
in San Francisco proper.
Oh, in proper?
Yep, South of Market, as they call it,
okay.
Soma.
Okay.
So we started printing in the garage. They kicked us out of the building, so we got a little storefront in the Mission, and then we started to grow really fast, and we found the factory.
Originally, weren't you doing like Superman
Yes.
kind of generic Boone's Farm and stuff like that?
And ironically, we had one marijuana leaf called Viva, and it's on the back of our calling card. Barry's wearing it, so we didn't know that we were going to get back in the business.
Interesting. So how did you get back in the business?
Thank goodness Barry, my partner from 70 to 80, is a hoarder. So he sent me all these pictures of every rock. We used to do all the rock concerts all over the world. We started with the Grateful Dead, and then the Stones. And
How'd
then,
you get to that? Don't you have a story about you were peddling?
Yeah,
trying to peddle?
I had a little film case, and we had our peace signs and marijuana leaf in it. And I walked into the store in Mill Valley, and or Thrill Valley, as it's called. And there was two women in there, and I said, "Would you like to buy some shirts?" They said no. But could you do 200 shirts by Monday? And, of course, East Coast bred. I said, of course we'll do it. Who are you? Oh, I'm the wife of the drummer of the Grateful Dead, Susla. Oh, okay. And so we did it, and we proved we could do it. And then she had us do the Allman Brothers, and that turned into the New Riders of the Purple Sage, Led Zeppelin, the
I'm
Stones.
having a flashback.
So am I. And I have probably more reason.
Imagine you do.
Hunter Thompson.
Those were the days.
So we just started printing. We were printing 6 days a
Out
week
of this small.
out of this little place, and we just grew and grew. Rock and roll was our big thing, but we were the first people to do Rolling Stone magazine, Greenpeace,
Wow.
all kinds of causes. So what happened is, because we were the only game in town, the Marijuana Initiative got on the ballot in 1972.
A lot of people don't know that because they weren't even born then, and some of us are so old we forgot. I forgot about that.
Yep, and it did not pass, but we had
Amazing.
people after people coming in. We had one little old lady, well, I should say, we did a Mothers for Marijuana, and I said to Barry and I talk all the time. He's unofficial and officially my partner. And
Yeah, you are manufacturing the T-shirts today.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get back to that a little bit, but I was so intrigued with your background, I wanted to know more about the 70s. In the
So
70s.
I said to Barry a couple of months ago, who was the one that ordered Mothers for Marijuana? He said it was a little old lady came in, ordered the shirts, picked them up, a few weeks later and left. We never saw her again.
Wow.
But we did the Marijuana Initiative. We have
You have a bunch of T-shirts here. We were kind of holding some up a little bit, the ones that don't have green on them because of the green screen.
This is a poster that was done by another artist, and this is a big seller for us.
These are what you're doing now, but
This is what we're doing now.
kind of flashbacks in the past as well, the designs and the.
We have
themes.
one. This is a new one called Doobie Doobie Doo, and it's either Doobie Doobie Doo or May the 4th be with you.
The 4th,
4th of July.
Oh, the
red,
4th.
white, and blue.
back to
We're
that
very
and
American.
420,
Yeah.
and there's all these code words and buzz things going around. I'm a little nervous right now.
And so in the 60s, there was only, as opposed to today where there's thousands of strains. And I do want to say that I did go to the Brenda's opening, and it was phenomenal, and that's where we all met. And I'm very proud of these women to do this and to take their energy with a really good reason to do it.
Right.
And
Yes.
so I do want to say that. So we just had fun. We printed night and day, but as
You've
I
also interacted with a lot of rock stars back in the day. didn't
yeah,
you?
I wrote my friend who's still a printer. I helped him get started 40-something years ago, and I said to him, you know, they called up, they placed the order, and then I'd say, well, where are our tickets? And I told my friend Ken Watson, I said, you know, who's better at sex, drugs, and rock and roll than the screen printers? So we'd go to the concerts, and our logo is living on the fringes. That means we weren't on stage, although we did get to go on stage, but we were on the fringes of all
Kind of like a
the...
roadie or something in the
Yeah.
background. I've actually been backstage a couple times myself.
You probably had a lot of fun. Maybe you should be telling stories. I'm going to
Strictly
give you.
professional.
I'm going to tell you the 420 really quick.
Oh yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, he was snickering when I was giving the generic whitewashed version of it. So tell us what it's really all about.
I lived in Marin County, the land of everything. So, the Santa Fe High School, there was, I think it was 4 guys at 4:20 in the afternoon would go meet at the football stadium, and they would smoke a joint. For some reason, that has caught on. 90% of people don't know that story, but it doesn't matter. 420 is
But
420.
you were there.
We were there.
We can attest to
And
this.
look at the address that Brenda has,
I
420.
was
I'm in
saying,
shock.
That really blew my mind
Yeah.
because now on April 20th is the big what do they call it? 420
It's-
Go Get High Day.
Sure.
Yeah,
Whatever, any day.
yeah.
But I do want to thank people like you that have worked for this many, many, many years. You know, we're just coming in the back end of it, but there's been people, so many people work for this cause for so many years, and that's why we're thrilled to be part of the industry. But thank you for everything that you've done for
groundwork
this
you're
industry.
Yeah, and I love working the California Marijuana Initiative. They actually drove me to the voting booth because I was kind of not in the corporate political
Right,
world.
but you're more like
and they
a-
said, look, you've been printing thousands of shirts for us. You're going to vote, and we're taking you. So I went.
Well, you were just doing it back in the late 60s and 70s because it was just like the peace sign. It was just such a trendy and pot. I mean, everybody was probably smoking it back then. It's been around for decades. I mean, back in the 20s, a lot of the musicians snorted
Yes.
coke and
Yep.
smoked pot. So,
Cab Calloway's Reefer Madness. That was what, 40s? But
well, the only Reefer Madness I saw was that horrible movie they showed us kids where people went crazy
Oh,
and
yeah,
killed
yeah, yeah.
people,
Yeah.
and which is so stupid because
Yeah.
I'd rather run in to somebody stoned than somebody drunk. I just can't help it. That's exactly my feelings on the matter.
You're right.
we
Not
have
that we all should be
It's a
stoned.
brown.
Moderation in all things.
That's right.
So, Jeffy,
I just wanted to show this one. I love this. So Barry did this artwork. It is
Ooh,
decriminalized
decriminalized marijuana.
1972, and the newspaper says Uncle Sam busted for pot, and yet the hobo, the alcoholic, is outside the jail.
is this
And
the original shirt
This
or the
is the original
design?
artwork. Yeah,
And people can buy
all day
these.
long.
Whoa, time's flying. I've got we're going to take a break here in a minute. We're going to come back with both these wonderful people. I really do have to give a little shout out to the Red Roof Inn. It's on Paradise. It's pet friendly, free continental breakfast, and Wi-Fi for guests, and no fees stacked on. I'm so irritated about that new parking fee thing. I
Well-
can't even see straight, but I'm going to. Okay. Jeffrey has a comment, I'm sure, when we come back. Maybe you should smoke something on the break. We will be back. Please don't go away. Join us. We have more fun things and great, interesting items coming up.